Hi parents, my name is Sarah Nance and I am your son or daughter's English teacher for this school year. I'm so glad that you can be here to watch our video tonight about what we're going to be doing this year in English and some policies that I'd like to talk to you about specifically around grading. So we'll just jump right in. There's my contact information at the bottom of this slide. It's just S. Nance, Sarah Nance. No numbers and my phone number. I do share that phone with another teacher or two, so if it's not me that answers, you can ask where I am or always just leave a message. I will say though that email is the best and fastest way to get in touch with me since I kind of have it up all day, and when I have little moments within my day, that's where I'm checking it. All right, so a little bit about me as your child's teacher. These are my children. I have two little ones. Sam is 1.5 and Jane is 3.5. They're born 2 days apart, actually, in 2 years. I am entering my 12th year as a teacher at Eagle Crest High School. I have always taught at Eagle Crest. I find it to be just an incredible place to be. I've taught 9th grade 11 out of those 12 years while I've been here. I went to Colorado Mesa University and I was a Division II volleyball player there. And I recently graduated from Fort Hays State University with my master's degree in building administration. If I ever wanted to be a principal, I now have the credentials, although I have no plans to do that in the immediate future. I also teach AP Lang for honors juniors. I am married to a social studies teacher. We actually met at Eagle Crest, but he now teaches at Cherry Creek High School where he went to school. We have one daughter, like I said, named Jane and Sammy. And then it's not on here. I don't know why I took it off this year, but I'm actually from the area. I went to Arapahoe High School. I graduated in 2005, and after college, moved back here and began my teaching career at Eagle Crest back then. So a little bit more about what we're going to be doing this year at Eagle Crest in the English department. We have some exciting things that we've changed. We've kind of updated our curriculum a little bit and kept some things the same. So this is a good rundown of what we're doing first semester. We're starting this year with a kind of a writing 101 kind of boot camp is what we've been calling it, about how to make a claim and support that claim with evidence. We also are then going to move into a short stories and poetry analysis unit. Students will also get the chance to write some of their own poems. The woman that you see at the bottom of this screen, her name is Nick Stone. She has written 2 popular books called Just Mercy is her most recent one, and I'm sorry, Dear Mercy and Dear Justice, I think is the full titles of both of them. She's actually doing an author visit at Eagle Crest, and we're going to use her author visit that we will attend as a jumping off point for a choice book that students can choose from to read independently. And most of those books will be in a verse format, a poetry format like her books are, but not all. So they'll get a choice. That'll be at the end of September and through the rest of the semester. As we pursue that, we used to call the Juvenile Justice Unit, where we looked at the juvenile justice system in America, but we've actually branched it out to include more topics. They are socially based, but there's a wide variety of topics and ideas that are kind of popular in current events. And this is where we hit research skills, nonfiction skills, informational text skills. Students get a chance to create a website that looks at their issue from multiple perspectives, and then they'll also incorporate their choice book into that. We do have a focus on grammar both semesters, and these are grammar skills aligned to the Colorado Revised Standards of 2020 for all 9th graders to master. As we move into second semester, we'll read the play Fences by August Wilson. It's a good look at kind of the American family or American dream dynamic from the 1950s perspective of a black family in Pittsburgh. And then we're going to read The Lone Ranger and, oops, typo there, Lone Ranger and Tonto Fist Fight in Heaven. That's by Sherman Alexie. And it's kind of it's a novel that actually was the basis for the screenplay for the movie Smoke Signals in 1999. But it explores the complexities within the Native American community. And it's told from the perspective of multiple characters navigating their life on the reservation. And I'm sure we'll watch snippets of Smoke Signals as well to accompany that. We used to read Romeo and Juliet, but because of time constraints, we'll probably just do some Shakespearean sonnets. So we'll have an opportunity to access Shakespearean language, but not from a full play standpoint, but from the poetry side. And then I'm considering finding a way to squeeze an Anthem, one of my favorite novellas, by Ayn Rand that looks at individuality versus conformity in this kind of government-controlled dystopian society. So that's kind of a quick rundown of our curriculum for this year. What I really wanted to focus on in my message tonight is my grading policy. My grading policy is standards-based. So if you're familiar at all with that from your previous students in high school or in the middle school level, the student's grade is dependent on how well they demonstrate proficiency in a particular skill. These are based on the Colorado academic standards, so they're not just skills we make up. These are skills that the state of Colorado players at large say that 9th graders should master before 10th grade. So if you just kind of look at the table here, the old way, more traditional way, the way you and I were graded in school is that we would be given a test and we would be given, a 43 out of 50, got a B, and that, factors in total points. We probably have about a B in the class. That doesn't give me any information on the student and what, if that were my grade, where I'm doing well and where I'm struggling. Okay, it just tells me that I got 43 out of 50 points. But of those 7 points I missed, where am I really struggling? So instead, I might break a test into 3 different skills, one on summary, one on vocab, and one on evidence quality. And so then I can add up all the questions are summary based and see, oh, I've gotten all those questions correctly, so Sarah gets an A. On the vocab section of the test, there were 5 questions on vocab, and I got 3 or 4 out of them out of 5 correct, so I get a C on that skill. And evidence quality, I got 4 out of 5 correct, so I get a B. So this tells me as a teacher then that Sarah needs a little bit more support in vocab, and I can really isolate that skill for Sarah so that she can get those revised as she goes. So these standards tell me where students are strong and where they need more support. And the other great thing about standards-based grading is that there's really no penalty for late work. If a student can demonstrate mastery on a skill, then the whole basis is that they can then turn in the work whenever. Like, of course, I'll still have due dates, but I don't penalize for work that might need a little bit more time. So if your student is on a plan that requires more time, it's always granted. It's granted to every student in my class. If they can show the skill, but they need a little bit more time, then I'm going to give it to them. With that, I was going to say one more thing about late work. The rubric. The rubric itself, this master rubric that has all the skills, there's about 30 of them that will assess multiple times in the year, lives on Schoology. There's a folder called Rubric, so if you'd like to look at the master rubric ahead of time or just throughout the year, it will live in a folder on Schoology on the home page of my class. Grading scale is the same. A is 90% to 100%, but the way I enter it into the grade book might look a little bit different. It might look like a 9.5 out of 10. If a student demonstrates mastery on a skill, I'll give them a 9.5 out of 10, which translates to a 95%. Same with if they get a B on the skill, it'll look like an 8.5 out of 10. And the other thing, more things with standards-based grading, students can always redo their work to show more mastery. I usually will give some feedback, and if students want to then fix that skill and turn it back in, then I will replace the old grade with the new grade. So it's kind of a constantly feedback cycle with how I grade. So if they don't like their score and they get a 65% on a skill, they can fix it with some feedback and turn it in and replace the grade for a 95%. I don't average them. So the benefits of standards-based grading is, again, no penalty for taking extra time to learn. I don't put zeros in the grade book. It actually skews it negatively if you make the 0 the lowest score they can get. So zeros are entered as 50%, it's more of a math thing that works in the favor of the students. Most recent score is weighted more than the old if they want to redo it. There's opportunities for reassessment, and it does reward growth throughout the year, not just did you turn it in on time. And there is, like I said, a clear communication of strengths and deficiencies within a student's grade. Other policies and info, I put a lot of work on Schoology, but not all of it, especially now that we're not remote, at least for now. I definitely put things on Schoology. I might not put every single thing on Schoology, so it is up to the students to be in touch with me if they're absent or if they need additional copies. I do expect them to bring materials to class, including a computer or a device that they were given to them by the district or their own. Pen, pencil, notebook, paper, kind of that just normal, nothing special, but necessary materials they would need for my class. Most students are enrolled in Raptor Academy, some in Raptor 101, which means that if they have a D or an F in my class, they'll be pulled by a student tutor to work on their missing assignments or assignments that might need a redo. And that's a great service and a great benefit for students to take advantage of. It's just basically additional time. I've told students this. They can sign up to get texts from my remind.com account if they text that message to that number. And basically I'll sometimes roll out texts like, don't forget, essays are due tomorrow, or if you want to redo this assignment, then I need it by tomorrow. Don't forget to bring your book tomorrow. We're going to have some time in class to read. So it comes from the app, not my personal phone. I send it through the app and or the website. And it's all academic based, totally optional, just a good way to keep students organized as well. That's all I have. There is more information about standards-based grading in the letter that I sent home that I had you sign, but if you didn't read the whole thing, that's okay. I don't blame you. That letter is in Schoology in the rubrics folder or on the home page with my syllabus, which has a lot of this information covered there as well. Please reach out if you have questions or if I can help navigate some of this stuff for English in the coming days or weeks. I'll just keep this video here and my contact information. I'm excited to have a really successful year. I can't tell you how pumped I am not to be remote, at least as of yet. I'm just hoping that we can stay in person so that I get to know your students in person and get to see them for a lot of time instead of just once a week. That was hard on all of us, especially I know if your students are coming from elevation, we'll need some time to adjust and get them back into the swing of an in-person class. Just know I'll do whatever I can and communicate as much as I can to make the transition smooth. Let's have a great year, and I will talk to you soon. Please sign up to come to virtual parent-teacher conferences so I can meet you in person as well. That sign up will go out in a couple weeks, but I would love to connect with you then. Thank you.